Aho! And today I come to you on the 27th, but for you it'll be the 28th of October. And I say aho brightly because today, with the first thing we're going to cover, is something I've been waiting to cover for a minute now because it's becoming a real thing. It's becoming reality. The Ambler Road. So, it's a mining road that's going to go through Alaskan territory, and it's going to tear up the land. It's going to tear up a lot of waterways to build this road. It's going to disturb wildlife and mess with the tribe and the natives there who depend on this land, who live on this land, and it'll cause them damage for generations. Just like with the North Dakota Access Pipeline. Not long after it was put in, it burst again. So, it seems that pipelines just do that. But today we're going to see as the mining corporations come and take after the people and their land.
You ain't talking to me. You're talking to generations before me. I'm just voicing what was put in my heart. They call it Inulikput.
The Ambler Road would open the floodgates of development for the cultural landscape of the Brooks Range.
The way we live.
In western Arctic, threatening the future of the caribou and native Alaskans who depend on them.
The economy of the Inupiat is dependent on the resources of the lands. Right now we're waiting for the caribou. It's time to prepare for the winter.
People do not understand how much. I'm not traditional at all. I'm not traditional. I don't live on the land. I know how to use a gun. I've ridden horses. I know how to do all that stuff. But I am by no means traditional. So, people seem to forget, even us non-traditional seem to forget how much of this land is still part of us. You know, a lot of urban natives spend a lot of time in the cities and stuff, and even they forget how much all this is and what it all is and how much we all depend on it. And coming in and disturbing the wildlife and ecosystems for a mining road, which is a tale as old as colonization itself. We are part of this land. We don't own it. We are part of it. No one should own this land. We belong to it. We depend on it. And if we get rid of all this, what do we have left? You can't drink oil, you can't eat money. Although they certainly will try. But you can't.
In the 70s, the population of the Western Arctic caribou herd was at 575,000. And today we see a number of around 30 to 240,000 animals.
Many people probably don't even know this. Because, people fall asleep in their history class, or our history itself is really only a couple of pages in history. It's not really taught much. And I'll expand on that in a second. But they did this with the bison. They almost killed off the bison. There's a picture of a man standing on top of millions of bison skulls. Millions of them. They chopped them down. They did that on purpose. They purposely would go by on trains and they would shoot down the bison because that was our food source. My tribe and many other tribes would follow the path of the bison, and they would be our clothing for the winter. They'd be our food for the winter. They would also be part of our shelter. Our shelters weren't completely made of hide, but there'd probably be some hide here or there. We used every part of it. We depended on these animals, and these animals even depended on us. You're not going to catch a whole lot of natives that are anti-hunting, because hunting is good for the environment. Hunting plays a part in ecosystems and keeping them healthy. That's good. I don't hate hunters. What I hate is these corporations to come here and have no other idea in mind but how much money they can make without thinking about what they're destroying. Take the people out of it. Take the people out of it. It's this land you're destroying for some money. What do we get in the end of this? Nothing.
Migration patterns change over the years as more development comes to our area. Today we find that we have to go further and further away to hunt during the fall.
On what I was wanting to expand on earlier is my wife is not from the state I'm at. She's from like El Paso, right? Like, basically Mexico. But she's from El Paso, and she moved up here years ago, and she didn't really know about natives. And she showed up here, and she saw a bunch of the darker natives, the ones that look like the ones in the pictures, look like our ancestors the most. And she saw them, she's like, "Grandpa, I didn't know there's a bunch of Mexicans up here." And he looked at her and said, "Those aren't Mexicans, girl, those are natives." And the first thing she said was, "I thought they all died. I thought they all died." That's how much people don't realize that we are still here. They don't care about us. How many times do you hear like anybody mention our input? Like, you think about, there's a poll in 2016 that said there's like how people voted in different ethnicities. Different ethnicities were like white, black, Hispanic, Asian, and something else. We turned it into a meme because it's like, we're something else. You're something else, We're like, for real, think about that. We're discarded. We were the first ones on this land. We were the first ones here. Many of these states are named after our words. Many cities are even named after our words. My tribe started all the way up in the Great Lakes region and went down to Mexico at some point. We are everywhere, and people forget that we're here. And of course, they also don't care that we're here, or else they wouldn't be going through this. Now, I'm not an Alaskan native, but all natives are a cousin. I met a Samoan guy playing Fortnite one time, and I was like, shit, your water cousin, your ocean cousin. That's how it is to me, at least. But that's because I'm Indian, and other people ain't gonna see it that way because they ain't. But we're gonna move on to some really weird and kind of cringe news.
Destroy the flood, join ICE.
So DHS posted a recruitment poster using Halo with the tagline, "Destroy the flood." That is kind of weird and cringe. But also, it shows that they're trying to target youth. Trying to get the youth, the Hitler youth. Trying to get them to join the ranks. Wait, this is the best you can do? To use Halo? Listen, this would have probably worked better in 2006. But we'll see where they go with this.
Destroy the flood, join ICE.gov. This is a poster that the Department of Homeland Security has just posted on their Instagram, with the White House being tagged as a collaborator. And this is kind of in lieu of several different kind of promotional posters that the Department of Homeland Security has been
kind of looks like Al from Home Improvement
posting. One recent, relatively controversial one is one where you have a bunch of knights, and the tagline is, "The enemy is at our gates." There are many different people online that have pointed comparisons to sort of Nazi propaganda posters from the 1930s and 40s that had kind of a similar iconography. But I want to focus on this one just a little bit more, predominantly because of the context it is and explaining what the heck the flood is in the context of what the image is based on. The poster features a screenshot from Halo Combat Evolved. The timing of this poster ties into the recent announcement of Halo Campaign Evolved. But in that game, halfway through, the Master Chief runs into sort of the Flood. The Flood are a sort of parasite, as they're called in the game, where they latch on to any sort of living or deceased.
Let that show you how they feel about immigrants. Let them show you how they will later feel about people they don't like. They are already dehumanizing people in a secret code, in a secret language. And I say secret because while we're on the internet and most of us are chronically online and can't take a break, right? Some of us have never seen grass. That, to us, we would know that. And to be honest, the Halo audience is still it's shrinking more and more because I haven't heard anything good about Halo except for the last game that came out was good. It was reminiscent of what it used to be, but I don't have an Xbox. I don't play Xbox. So, you know, they're already using basically secret fucking internet coding to like, hey, these people aren't people. They're the enemy. They're scum. They're villainy. Get rid of them. Like, come on, dude. It's obvious right there. And some people are just like, well, yeah, obviously they are. No, they're not. If you have anybody telling you to hate this sort of group of people, you need to immediately ask why. And if you're asking why, and they give you reasons, you need to severely think about those reasons. Like, research into it, and not their sources. You need to find other sources. But regardless, we're going down the wrong rabbit hole here. These people are people. They are not scum. They're not parasites to be wiped out. And that's what they're conditioning you to think. And, you know, ask yourself, why?
Source and kind of take it over. In that game, you can't necessarily kill the Flood. You kind of have to destroy its food source or destroy a Halo ring. You can't necessarily reason with it. So in the context of understanding what the Flood is and what the poster is, many people within the last few hours have already kind of spoken on how they feel about the particular message that this poster brings. It's the fact that they're comparing the people that they're really going after to sort of a fictitious kind of zombie-esque alien that deserves to be destroyed. It's not necessarily something that's going to be well received. Again, this is just a few days after that poster of the enemies at our gates.
One theory on how.
Well, isn't that lovely? I could have let him finish, but I still need to kind of pause and grab my commentary, but at least I was right on that one. Alright, last one for the morning will be our good old Mango Mussolini, the Cheeto himself. I've been telling y'all, he ain't gonna leave. He ain't gonna leave. Not unless he's forced to. He's building a $300 million ballroom. You think he plans on leaving? No. Anyways, here we go.
One theory on how you might try to serve a third term is that you could run as the vice president.
Yeah, I'd be allowed to do that.
Is it the White House or the White House?
No, you wouldn't. You would not be able to run as vice president. It clearly states in the Constitution, presidents who have served their full terms cannot be vice presidents either. That is wrong.
So your legal position, I
No,
guess.
you'd be allowed to do that, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. I think it's
You're ruling that
it's
out.
too cute. Yeah, I would rule that out because it's too cute. I think the people wouldn't like that. It's too cute.
No. It's not because it's too cute. It's because it's bullshit. Complete bullshit. And let's not sit here and pretend like you running for VP wouldn't immediately be like, JD, you need to step down so I can be president. Let's not pretend. All right, that's exactly what it's gonna be. But go ahead, spin your weave of lives, your weave of lies here. Just do what you gotta do. It'd be cute. No, it wouldn't be cute. It'd be fucking disgusting. But continue.
It's not. It wouldn't be right.
For 2028, they're very good people.
Are they?
Well, we have great people. I don't have to get into that, but we have one of them standing right here.
Yeah, right. You're gonna make him blush. Aww. Look at little Marco. Oh, you sucked up so well, Marco.
We have JD, obviously.
Yeah, see, he shakes his head because he's like, yeah, he's full of shit.
The vice president is great. I think Marco's great. I think, I'm not sure if anybody would run against us. I think if they ever formed a group, it would be unstoppable. I really do. I believe that. I would love to do it.
He's going to.
I have my best numbers ever. It's very terrible. I have my best numbers. If you read it,
like numbers in like your cholesterol, numbers in the amount of strokes you're having. Are you talking about like the numbers in width of how your ankles expanded? What numbers exactly? Because I don't think it's your political numbers. Don't think it was political numbers at all. To be honest with you, maybe they are good. I got my Soros check. I got mine. I don't know. Maybe. Alright, well. This country's screwed. Same old. Really, honestly. One day, and it needs to be soon, we all as a collective need to realize that our enemy is these people and the billionaires and trillionaires that are supporting them, and also taking our suffering and milking us for their gain. Those are the people who are our enemy, not us. Not the poor white folk, not the natives, not the black folk, not the trans, not the immigrants. Nobody. If we are working class, if we are homeless, then we are all together against these people who want to control us. And at the end of the day, we all need to remember it's us against them, not us against each other. With that, good morning.